Yeah, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are back again this morning. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of July, 2024. Still haven't found Edu yet. Don't know where he's at. Still looking for that Dom. Hopefully we find him sometime this week. I don't know. This guy clearly is still asleep, right? He's sleeping. Guys, we are going to be looking at the latest news surrounding Arsenal Football Club as we usually do. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are new. All of that. Big up all the real ones in the building. We appreciate every single one of you. We are going to be talking about this mystery German signing that Arsenal are allegedly meant to be making. We looked at the video the other day. Some people don't believe in it. They still don't believe in that video, but it has been confirmed by this team and Tixton. I don't know who this guy is, but he is confirming that the player that this report, that this video more or less that's been circulating suggesting that we're signing this German player is true. He says, however, Arsenal are trying to keep it secret. They don't want to let any opposition know who the player is. I mean, I have to laugh to a degree. I think this guy Team and Six are just trying to waffle up some BS, to be quite fair, but we're going to dive into it. We've got Edu making bids for Riccardo Calafiori, according to some of the reports. Some of the papers, the press, they're publishing it in Italy. On the back of their papers, they're saying Arsenal 42 million euro bid to be launched. So I don't know, Edu launching bids, Edu in talks to sign Calafiori right now. I don't know, but it does look like that could be the case, according to those fraudulent journalists over there in Italy. Big up everyone in the building. Make sure we are hitting the like button as we join Cameron. Arteta new contract talks as well. We've got an update on that. We've got so much to discuss this morning, this afternoon. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you fasten your seatbelts. All of that. Teams are active. The only team that isn't active is Arsenal right now. There's talks about Lokonga leaving. Hopefully that happens over the next coming hours. I want to see that happen today. Now, this is a questionable one, Lokonga. We're going to get to Lokonga. I want to talk about the goalkeeper to start off with. We're being linked with the goalkeeper. It does look like Arsenal are going to pull the trigger on this one. It's questionable as well, the amount of money that Arsenal are going to pay. He's got a release clause, 25 million. We're paying the same amount of money for David Raya. Does it make any sense to pay 25 million for a backup? A guy that's probably never going to play? Or is there going to be some conflict again taking place this season between the goalkeepers? You know, maybe this goalkeeper that we bring in is better than David Raya, and we and then we come on. This is a circus. 8 goalkeepers in 4 or 5 seasons under Arteta. Come on, man. It's an absolute circus. So, yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. Big up Paul in the building. Big up Sergio. Big up Adam. Big up my guy Naruto. We've got Robbo in the building as well. Adam says, smash the likes. Come on, guys. Beat up the like button. Big up Brad in the building. We've got Gemiola in the building as well. We've got John NS in the building. The mystery German is Draxler. Can you imagine? I swear that guy's retired. Is he still playing football? I ain't heard about Julian Draxler since the days of Arsenal being linked with him. That was like a link every single summer. Big up Guna Mateta in the building. Big up Robin as well. Big up Max as well. Big up all the people that are joining. Big up Ace12. Big up Andrew. You know, we give our shout outs at the beginning of the streams because we appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. All of that. We are about to dive straight into the first topic of discussion. And that is Aaron Ramsdale when it's goalkeeping situation that we find ourselves in. Will this goalkeeper be better than Aaron Ramsdale or David Raya? He's 25, I think he is. 23? He's 25 mil. 23 years old. Let me just double confirm that. But Arsenal are, being linked with a number of goalkeepers at this moment in time. I think they're all Spanish. And, Mikel Arteta wants to bring that Spanish blood to the Emirates. And this guy here, he is 23. He's 23. Just turned 23 back in May. So, young player. But look, I don't know too much about him. Some guys in the chat might be more familiar with this goalkeeper than I am. But it does look like it's the guy that Mikel Arteta wants to bring in. They have scouted him according to the reports. Now, I don't know. I can't believe, if these guys have been scouting or not, because Edu's out here doing scouting now. He's scouting the Euros according to these frauds. I don't know, man. I thought he had 180 different pages of players, a database of players that he was looking to target. Now we're here scouting Dons at the Euros. Even Calafiori, I question whether we were actually in for Calafiori before the Euros took place. Was he on the agenda? Was he on that database that you hold within your hands, Edu? No, I don't think he was. I think you just stumbled across him. Some reports actually come out the other day to suggest that Jorginho was the recommendation for Calafiori. I don't know. Anyway, this one here says if Aaron Ramsdale is to leave Arsenal, is to leave. So there's no there's no confirmation yet as if he as I said to you guys yesterday, there's no clubs interested in Ramsdale right now. Newcastle was the only club. We had our hopes up at that point. 15 million Newcastle all only willing to pay, and yeah, Arsenal wanted 50 million. Newcastle were like, what? Did we hear you wrong? Did we hear you correctly? What was going on there? 50 million? So yeah, they pulled out of that one, signed James Trafford. I think James Trafford is official for Newcastle. And yeah, now we're kind of sitting here lumped with Aaron Ramsdale. Don't know what to do with him. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to be a number one. Mikel Arteta hasn't decided on what's going on. Edu hasn't drummed up any interest for Aaron Ramsdale. He thought Newcastle were going to come. They were going to come through, but clearly not. So what's happening with Ramsdale? So we don't even know if Ramsdale's leaving at this moment in time. We might have another sulky Ramsdale sitting on the sidelines. I doubt it'll be sulky, but I can see there being problems, man. But this guy here is one of the main players that Arsenal are looking at. He is high on the contingent plan, and that is Joan Garcia. The player is reported to have a 25 million release clause and is a likely target should the club need to recruit competition for David Raya. And that's according to what the Athletic are saying there. So that's interesting. We'll move on straight away, very, very swiftly into the next one, and that's the leaks. Now, this is interesting because we saw the video the other day. Do we want to see the video again? Does anyone want to see the video again? I think I can find it, but do comment down below. Let me know if you want to see that video again. I don't really care about watching that video again, to be quite fair, but do comment down below. Let me know. We saw the video the other day. The video suggested that a German player is going to be moving to the Premier League. It kind of cut out the word Arsenal, but it was clear it was Arsenal. It could have been Aston Villa. Because we heard I don't know. That's a bit of a no diddy right there. We heard. It clearly said Arsenal. Well, it didn't clearly, but you know what I mean. And since then, we've got another report published by the team Antics, and they're basically saying, listen, what was said in that video is true, but Arsenal are trying to keep this under the radar. They don't want anyone to know who the player is. What they're saying here is on leaks that Arsenal are signing a German international. He says, I spoke to the main source, or my main source, who told me that there is truth to it, but no deal has been done. Okay. Now that doesn't, just to pause on that bit for a minute. Bloody hell, Wax. I need coffee. But just to pause right there for a minute. If the deal hasn't been done, why was the guy on the phone organizing rentals for the guy and confirming with confidence that he will be joining or coming to London in 2 weeks after the Euros? Now, I know people in my WhatsApp group, they're basically saying, Wax, listen, I do not believe it. People use Arsenal's name for traction. I just don't believe that video. And I sit with them. I'm not going to lie. I sit with them. People do use our name for traction. I'm not overly compelled to believe that video was true. But then we have some more information whereby a guy that sits with Charles Watts, a representative of Arsenal Football Club in the media, is telling us online that the leaks are true. That video is true. However, the deal hasn't been done. So what I get from it is maybe they know the person that was on the phone trying to organize the rental, trying to all pattern the thing for London. They know the deal is going to get done. They're just waiting on incompetent Edu to obviously finalize the financial details with the football club itself. But maybe personal terms or whatever the case may be with the player is green lighted, already agreed. They are ready. You know, them way there. Look, organizing car rentals, organizing homes, looking at houses, because that's exactly what that guy said. Again, it might not be true, but you know, taking what this guy is saying, putting it with that, I mean, it kind of connects and makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But the deal hasn't been done. That's where we could be at, waiting to put the fee on the table. There could be some fee, and whoever the player is, his club is waiting on that. But it says it hasn't been done, and the club are trying to keep the name under wraps. Now it's funny, man. I'm fed up with this. Like, who are Arsenal? Like, come on, guys. Like, we know who we are, right? But you know what I mean. Why does Mikel Arteta and Eddie feel like everything's got to stay secret, guys? We've got to keep the name under wraps, because if anyone knows who our players are, I mean, they do have a point, though. I was gonna say they do have a point, though, because you know, you do get hijacks, and Arsenal do get hijacks, and Edu's been hijacked quite a lot of the time since he's been the sporting director or technical director. So they do have a point, but I think it's just a bit, you know what I mean? Now we're going to keep it secret. They want to keep the name under the radar, especially if it's someone like a Joshua Kimmich. If it's someone like Joshua Kimmich, bruv, we knew about Joshua Kimmich time ago. We knew the interest was there. We knew. Why do you care about keeping that under the radar? He is a 29-year-old player, almost 30. Why does anyone give a damn? You know, them way there. Like, no one cares. You think someone like, what, Man City really going to come along and put bare pressure on Joshua Kimmich, this 30-year-old player? They're not going to. They'd rather go for the 22-year-old. Let's be honest now, innit? So if this is true and they're trying to keep it secret, then maybe it's not Joshua Kimmich, because that's been in the press. That's been drilled and driven in the press for months and weeks. So it might not be Joshua Kimmich. So therefore, other people are coming to their assumptions. You know what people are like. You know what the Arsenal fans are like. Let me just quickly find this. They're coming to their assumptions. And they're basically saying, well, you know, we think it could be one of these four players. Let me quickly find it. And this is the four. This is the four. And Joshua Kimmich, of course, is one of that four, if this all loads, because it's the processor on this. Yeah, I think we need Arteta's processor, don't we? Flipping hell, trust the processor. This flipping computer is so slow. I need to. It's time to buy a new one. It's definitely time to buy a new one. All right. So yeah, some people have put these four players on the list as the four that could potentially be one of the mystery players. Now, Joshua Kimmich is there. And again, it wouldn't make sense for me that Arsenal kept it under the radar. But then you've got Leroy Sané. Do we need Leroy Sané? Would you know, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal care about keeping Leroy Sané under the radar? Who out there is really going to come and try and poach Leroy Sané? I mean, the other two, maybe. I remember one of our philosophies, you know, that Edu has told us is that we don't want a tug of war. We don't want to go into a bid and have a tug of war. So if you look at the two on the left, if you're looking at Musiala and Wirtz, and I'm not saying that these are the two, bruv, because this would be like literally giving Edu flowers. If Edu pulled out Musiala or Wirtz, woo, yeah, no Diddy, flowers, okay? Flowers. Obviously, there's still stuff that needs to be done, but I swear to you that you know, we start dishing them. Yeah, okay, we start dishing them, and that's how Edu proves himself. This is what I want. This is the expectation for the summer. However, are we going to be delusional enough to believe that Arsenal have got the money and Arsenal are in conversation with Bayern Munich for Musiala, or in conversation with Bayern Leverkusen for Wirtz? I don't think so. But people online believe so. People online believe so. So we're going to share that. And these are the four players that people believe. Now, look, I don't know. I really, really don't know. These guys are basically saying that Arsenal are interested in signing a German international this summer once the Euros has ended. However, the name is currently unknown as per team news and ticks. Which German player would you like to see? Okay, so this is where we're going to start getting delusional. So look, the guy is confirming it. The guy is confirming what we reacted to last week or the other day, whenever it was in fact true. But to a degree, the deal hasn't been complete. The deal isn't done because there needs, you know, something needs to be finalized. I would say that wouldn't be personal terms, especially if the guy's on the phone trying to arrange the whole trip and the move. So I would say it's the bids to the actual football club that are selling the player. That would only make sense. The last part of this what Team and Six has said. He says, "I'm told not many know the identity of the player." So this is where it starts. It starts becoming a bit clickbait-ish. You know what I mean? We don't know the identity of the player. It's made even more difficult by it being a player who wasn't on Arsenal's initial shortlist. So that erases Joshua Kimmich off the list. It only kind of leaves the three. I don't think Leroy Sane. We've seen links with Leroy Sane in the past. Can we say Leroy Sane was on that short list? I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility, but it totally erases Joshua Kimmich off. It leaves us the other three on there. So again, I repeat, the guy says, Team News and Ticks basically says, "I'm told not many know the identity of the player, and it's made even more difficult by it being a player who wasn't on Arsenal's initial shortlist or even discussed in detail prior to the season ending." Now, one thing I am concerned with at that point, again, you guys, if anyone has been following me, over these past couple of weeks, we've been doing Gaspar, that's the new one, Gaspar Daily, okay? That is Edu Gaspar Daily. That's exactly what we've been doing. Now, one thing I'm going to quickly pick out from this paragraph that we've just read, and this is something I've been questioning: the plan, the clear plan. Because I repeat, and I'm going to reiterate what I've just said here. It says, a player who wasn't on Arsenal's initial shortlist or even discussed in detail prior to the season ending. So this is a player that wasn't a part of the plan. This is a player, that Eddie was just stumbled across, and this is where I'm concerned, because I thought there was a plan. This is the reason why players have probably not left yet. I thought there was a plan. Man is stumbling across players. Oh, yes, now we're going to try and sign him. Oh, actually, we have signed him, but I only found out about him 2 weeks ago. Okay? I have to start questioning it. If it's a good player, then yeah, obviously, you get behind it, you support it, and you kind of, again, I want to give Eddie his flowers, no diddy. But at the end of the day, bruv, where is the plan? What is the plan? Do you know what you're doing, or are you just winging it by the day? That is the concern. That is something that I'm thinking about. I want to understand that. At the end of the day, if Arsenal do deliver and bring out the right players, and and it improves the squad, then who am I to say anything? I am no one to say anything. But someone that is involved in this football club as a fan, that's heavily invested on a day-to-day basis, I want to challenge the sporting director. I want to make sure that the sporting director is on job and he is doing the best he can for this football club. We don't want to sit there and just allow Edu just to tell us what he is doing without anyone trying to challenge what he is doing and keeping that pressure on. I hope Mikel Arteta and everyone else that's in that football club right now are making sure Edu's on his toes, because at the end of the day, if Edu don't deliver, firstly, it doesn't allow us to spend the amount of money we want to be able to spend if Edu doesn't deliver. If Edu doesn't deliver, it means Mikel Arteta isn't going to get the players quick enough so he can get them into shape or give them the understanding that he wants to give them to start the season. Do you understand? If Edu doesn't deliver, it means Arteta has a more difficult job in his hands this season, because there are teams that are going to be active, that are going to continue to be active, and they're going to be challenging and pushing for major honours this season. So look, it's going to be one of the most competitive Premier League seasons in the history of the football, okay? Of the football, like I'm some foreign don. So look, we need Edu to be serious, and this is the reason why we do Edu Gaspar Daily, okay? We got the real ones. Let me run through some comments though, but let me know your thoughts on this mystery German signing. We've still got a lot to talk about, so don't go anywhere. But big up every single one of you. Let's get some comments involved in this. it's going to be an interesting roller coaster of a ride over the next couple of weeks, mate. And the driver is Edu. Edu is driving. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Choo-choo. Hold on, boy. It is gonna be a mad thing. Okay. Gnabry be decent. Oh, it could be Gnabry. He hasn't been mentioned, but he's been injured, bro. I don't want Gnabry. He has been injured so many times, but I think he hasn't really been playing for Bayern Munich this season because of injuries as well. Breaking the bank, Musiala in. Can you imagine? Why is nobody mentioning Gnabry? Is that a definite no? Says Jamesy. Jamesy, big you up, my guy. Yeah, you know what it is, man. I like Gnabry, and there was always, you always kind of entertain the idea of bringing Gnabry back to the football club. But if you look at his recent data, it's not really that great. Still a great football player, but injuries. He's an injury-prone don, man. When we played Bayern Munich, he got taken off injured. Come on, blood. No, Gnabry can't be the one. We can't be nursing this guy, man. Wax, bro, keep your foot on Edu's neck. I love that, brother. No Diddy. Big up James Bond in the building. Mystery German, what is this? That's what I'm saying. Matthias Tell or Mukoko, both of those players are sick wonder kids. It could be one of them, but I doubt it. The player is at Germany, at the Euros, sorry. Is Matthias Tell, is he at the Euros? Maybe. I don't even know every single player that's at the Euros for the German team. Maybe. Could be one of them. Big up my guy Zeeks as well. Much appreciate you. I would love to hope it's Musiala, but gut feeling it's Sane. Wirtz wants to leave Leverkusen. Better put won't be allowed to. Edu really giving us nothing. Yep. Edu is a clown. The deal is to get over the line. Is for players we have free run at. Yeah, he doesn't want to tug a war with anyone. Gaspar. That is exactly it. The Gaspar show. Is you gas and you also par it as well. Like you gas and you par. You gas and you par. Yeah, gas and par. Gas and par. Oh, proper gas and par. Anyway, big up my guy, man. Mia's in the building. Much appreciate you, broski. Come on, each and every time. Gaspar, come on. Big up Adam. Max, we've got Arteta's boy back. He says for misery signing, he says, I think it's going to be a midfielder or a winger, who I don't know, but I admit Edu is slow. Let's hope at the end it's worth it. Big up my guy Ro, aka Gumsy Gums in the building. Much appreciate you, bro. Ski, Robbo in the building. It says Tell is French. Anyway, I was gonna say that. I was thinking he's French as well. How's man thinking he's German, blood? Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? Sometimes I don't think, bro. I don't think. The Gaspar one is the one, though. I hope it's not Sane, man. Do we really want Sane, bro? I swear to you, I don't really want Sane, mate. Yeah, I'm not really feeling Sane. I'm not really feeling it. Okay, what else have we got going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let's move on from this nonsense. Let's see what happens. Can you imagine Musiala? I can't see it being Musiala, man. I can't see it being Musiala. This doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we're moving. Sevilla and Arsenal are still negotiating the value of the buy clause in Albert Sambi Lokonga's loan deal. Everything indicates that it will be an obligation to buy. However, Sevilla does not want to go over 8 million euros, while Arsenal want 12 million euros. Now, I'm not too sure how old this is because I'm sure I read a report. This was published yesterday. So that was published 5 o'clock yesterday. Because I'm sure I read a report this morning somewhere, and I don't know if I've retweeted it, but the one I read this morning suggested that Arsenal have agreed to accepting 10 million euros for Sambi Lokonga. There's going to be a 3 million loan bid plus 10 million. Now, listen, I have to be honest. We have been finessed, okay? We have been finessed. And look, I've been one to say, just get rid of the Dons. And maybe this is one of them. Maybe this is one where you've looked at it and said, cool, we'll just get rid of him. All right. We don't care what the money is, we'll get rid of him. When I was talking along those lines anyway, I was more or less referring to players like Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson. I think with those guys, the value isn't that high. There's a slight difference with Lokonga. And the reason I'm going to say there's a slight difference is because, for one, Lokonga hasn't been injury prone. So teams, they're not going to be looking at Lokonga as like a massive, massive risk, because this guy hasn't been injured, right? Or he has been injured, but not the way these men have been injured. ESR exception. Eddie Nketiah exception, right? But Lokonga is a player that we signed for this project. 18.5 million pounds is what we paid. Plus the add-ons actually takes it up to 20 million pounds. So that's what we paid for Lokonga, 20 million. We paid it off the back of Lokonga being sold to us by a company, Yaya Toure 2.0. Now, if we are to be totally fair with Lokonga in his time at Arsenal, has he had a fair chance to be the player that he is? Not necessarily. I think he was chucked in the deep end, playing out of position, playing as a 6 when really he's an 8. He should be playing as an 8. However, it wasn't working out for him. He was sitting on the bench, sulking. Seemed that he didn't have the right attitude. And then we've sent him out on loan to Luton. Now he's gone out on loan to Luton. We haven't made any money for him on that loan. As far as I'm being told, we have made no money for him on the Luton loan. And then they've just paid his full wages. And now we're selling him for 13 million altogether. So we've taken a loss. We bought him for 20 and we're selling him for 13. So we're taking a loss. Now, based on his performances with Luton, there should have been more of a increase in valuation. So I'm not too sure why we couldn't at least break even with Lokonga. But we're taking a loss. This is why you have to look at these decisions that are being made by Edu and by Arteta to a degree. And you have to kind of scrutinize these guys and put the pressure on, because it's like these decisions, you sign these players based on what? You're going into this summer again with the same mentality, blood. Same mentality, bruv. Now, I'm not saying Calafiori is a shit signing, but that's a recommendation from Jorginho, apparently, allegedly. This German guy that we just spoke about, it's been told by teams and ticks that he wasn't a part of the agenda at the end of last season. So he wasn't on the 180 pages that Edu had for us. Who was on those pages? Would love to know. But again, it's just like we're winging it. And every time you wing it and you don't have a real concrete plan, ladies and gentlemen, what happens? This happens. You sign players like Lokonga and you take losses. Yeah, we're not about losses, bro. We're not about taking losses. You understand? With the other players like ESR and these man, ESR, again, I'll make an exception. Eddie Nketiah hasn't proven to be worth 50 million, so that was delusional to even put that price tag there. Reece Nelson hasn't played really. I mean, his last moment was against Bournemouth when he scored the winner. People are still cheering about that. People think that goal warrants him, a 45 million pound move. Come on. But when you've got your own player that your project has signed, your project, right? That's what you got. That's what you got to look at it. Your project has signed it. And you can't even get an ROI for that player. And he's only been here for 2 years. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Forget Eddie. Forget ESR. Forget the players that were here before the project. Those players were all here before the project. Yeah? The project didn't sign them. Okay? Your project, Edu, signs Lokonga. Your project, Edu, signs Nuno Tavares. So I need to know that the people that are calling the shots for this project is competent enough to make the right decisions. Yeah, to make the right decisions, sign the right players that have the knowledge and the know-how to identify the right players, not to be impulsed by some agent, not to be impulsed by some don that you had fucking wine with a few weeks ago. some guy that just come along and finesse you for the bag. Unless you're all about bag finessing, unless Edu's out here just bag finessing, unless he's just brown bagging, unless that's what he's on, we shouldn't expect this shit. We shouldn't expect a player that we signed only 2 years ago to be sold at a loss, okay? We're not about losses, all right? So Edu needs to step it up, bruv. Edu really needs to step it up. Cool. We're getting close to getting Lokonga out the door, and that's something that we all want. We want to get rid of these deadwood players. But come on, Edu, man. Player that you brought into the project, you can't even get an ROI for. And I can show you right now managers and sporting directors that have been at their football clubs for less time than Edu and Arteta at this football club and have generated ROIs of players that they signed to their project and then sold, okay? So, look, this is where I'm talking about the competence of our people that are driving our bus. Do they know what they're doing? Have they a plan in place that are whereby they know what type of players they want? They should have known what type of players they wanted back in January. You should have known who you were selling back in January. Don't tell me that you've waited to the summer to go to the Euros so you can scout some players to figure things out. Don't tell me you've waited to the Euros to sit down and look at the players that you already have to decide on what players you actually want to sell and what price tags you want to put on their heads. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So, Edu, step up, deliver. Yeah? It's time to deliver, bro. Big up my guy, VP of Keys in the building. Nothing but love and respect to you, broski. Big up Lion Trading as well, man. I hope you're having a green day today. We're having green days. Yes, yes, yes. We're sitting here on YouTube having a little rant, but we're having a lovely green day. Oh, I just switched over. Having a lovely green day. We always have green days out here, ladies and gentlemen. Green days. Green day. We're not talking about the boy band either. All right, so let's get back to this. Let's get back to this before this market starts distracting me. We got my guy Blacks in the building. We've got Man United fans in the building. I see ya. You know what? I went to talk about some Man United news today, you know, because Man United are active. I can't lie. Blacks, your team are active right now. Your team are in conversations. De Ligt looks like a done deal. For anyone that doesn't know, De Ligt does look like a done deal. So you man can get excited, boy. And there's a few other done deals. Even Zertsky. Zertsky looks like another one that's going to be joining Manchester United. So 2 Dutch dons. They're bringing the Dutch dons in. Bare Dutch packs. Bare Cali packs are getting brought in. You know, then way there, even behind the scenes with the backroom staff as well. Van Nistelrooy and them dons. The owners have not got a clue, and they've put people in charge who also don't know what's going on. Edu is scamming the living off the club. He's done to still have a job as sporting director. Big up the lonesome gunner. Not one player sold, bro. It's a myth. And obviously that's Blacks talking about Manchester United. Yeah, we're in the same boat, bro. We're in the same boat. We're trying to figure out what Edu and Mikel Arteta are doing at the moment. What is the plan? What is the Bumberclark plan? Anyway, Lokonga looks like it's going to be tied up any day now. So do fasten your seatbelts and wait for that one to happen. Obviously, we're taking a loss. A player that I do want to quickly promote and talk about is Ferdi Kaddogo. Yesterday, Turkey got through to the quarterfinals. Big up Turkey. Incredible performance from Turkey, to be quite fair. Individual performances. Arda Güler, you know what you're getting from him. Lovely assists. The guy's set pieces, bro. No one at Arsenal is putting balls into the box from a set piece the way Arda Güler is. The techers is crazy. The guy's 19 years old. Oh man, why did we not get that one done? Why did we not look at Arda Güler when he was on the market? That should have been one in our pocket, bro. I swear to you. But we don't want to miss out on this one. I honestly think Ferdi Kaddogo is a player that you need to bring in at Arsenal Football Club. This guy going forward is scary. He's got pace. He's got a good pass in him. He's got a lot of energy. He can defend. He can attack. He's got a cross on him. Like, he's a really good player. Like, Ferdi Kaddogo is a really good player, and I think he brings our defense to life, especially when you are trying to transition and get forward. He is someone that will cook. We see him kind of inverting yesterday as well. He looks comfortable in the central areas. I'll be all over. I'm about to call him Curdy. Let me drink some tea, blood. I was about to call him Curdy, blood. Bloody hell, man, like 30. Yeah, listen, I'll be all over that. No Diddy. Bringing him in. He's an upgrade on Zinchenko, big upgrade on Zinchenko, and yeah, he's certified. He's a certified left back. The 3 million Sambi, the 3 million loan Sambi just to run down last year contract, dumb business. Yes, they've got no. There's an obligation. It's an obligation to buy him for 10 million. So it's gonna be 13 million for Sambi altogether. 13 million. Big up my guy Sean in the building. Big up all the guys in Barbados. Much appreciate you guys. But yeah, Ferdy Kaddogo, I thought I would just mention it. He looked class yesterday. He looked classy, and it should be one that Arsenal will be getting done. You know, obviously he's at the Euros, so maybe Arsenal are waiting. Maybe Arsenal are waiting. They're scared to talk to him. Oh, he's at the Euros. I'm scared. We'll just wait. We'll wait. And then next thing you know, at the end of the Euros, we get punched in the face by someone else who come in and scoop him up. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, man, good player. Let's see if Arsenal will push for him. Do comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on that Ferdy Kaddogo. Now, we're going to move on to one of the main topics of discussion, or the main topic of discussion. I did want to talk about Jules Koundé. He's obviously being linked with a move to Arsenal, and a recent report did suggest that Arsenal are serious about getting that one done. £50 million could be the answer. 50 million, that's a decent price for him. What Barcelona are waiting for is a team that have promised to come in for one of their other centre backs, Ronald Araujo. I think I'm pronouncing his surname right. I always butcher names, even if I've heard them a million times, I'll still butcher them. Yeah, so they're waiting for a team that have made a promise to come in for him. I'm not too sure who the team is, but if that team don't come in by a certain date, I'm not too sure what date that is, then they will sell Jules Koundé to Arsenal. That is basically what the latest report is suggesting, linking my man with Arsenal. Wax. I need to slow down. I need to slow down. Anyway. Oh yeah, the other main topic of discussion was Arteta's contract. Let's look at this quickly. So Fabrizio Romano gives us an update on this. He basically says on Mikel Arteta's new contract, the contacts continue between Arsenal and the agents of Arteta. So the agents, he's got agents dealing with it for him, of course. They're obviously talking about the finer details of the contract, trying to iron out the financial details. Talks ongoing, talks going very well. Arteta wants to stay and wants to continue. Arsenal are super excited about this project with Arteta. Now, look, man, I have to be honest, bro. I think this contract talk needs to get put on hold. It needs to get put on hold until the end of the season, bruv. He has to win something, man. You can't just have contract talks with a manager that's not getting you over the line. This has to be deemed as failure. Now, as I was saying the other day, right? As I was saying the other day to who was I talking to? Yardman. Because it's mad. Like, there's two ways you can look at this. There's obviously the fan expectation and there's the football club expectation. Now, from the fans' perspective and for what the fans kind of expect, Arteta getting a new contract and Arteta at this point of his time at Arsenal not actually winning the Premier League can be deemed as failure. It can be deemed as failure because their expectations was to do it over a certain process, over a certain period, right? Then there's the other side of it. There's the Arsenal side. How long do Arsenal expect to win the Premier League? Now, what I was reading the other day and what I was trying to explain to Yardman is that Arsenal's expectation, from what I read a little while ago, is to win the Premier League by 2027. That's another 3 years, bruv. That's their expectation. So on that basis, Arteta's got up until 2027 here at the football club to win the Premier League. And this is the reason why we've been told recently that we're ahead of schedule. Remember, we've been told that about a year ago. We were told that we're ahead of schedule in terms of where we expect our football club to be. So for me, it has to be this season, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. They're discussing a new contract as we speak. Why is he going to be signing a new contract? Logically, it should come at the end of the season after you deliver. If he doesn't deliver, then it's easier to move the manager on because we don't have to fork out all of that money. We don't have to fork out all of the bonuses and the compensation that man's going to owe him. It doesn't make any sense. So what makes sense to me is that Arsenal haven't reached their goals yet with Arteta. And they've given him a certain date, deadline, and we're nowhere near that date or deadline. It has to be 2027. It can't be 2025 because you wouldn't be extending his contract or giving him a new one. It can't be 2026 because you probably wouldn't be giving him a new contract. It has to be 2027. It has to be. So it's, I don't know, man. It's going to take Arsenal to really fall off this season in order for them to be like, oh shit, we're going to have to pull the trigger on this. You understand? Because the amount of money that you're going to have to pay a manager on a new contract, if you decide to sack him after 6-7 months, is exactly what Chelsea had to go through with Graham Potter. Graham Potter was paid £50 million by Chelsea. Now, I'm not saying he got that all up front. It could have been paid in installments. But why do you think Graham Potter hasn't been in any rush to get a job? Come on, logically, you think Graham Potter is in any rush to get a job? Graham Potter's been offered the Ajax job. Graham Potter was offered the Leicester job. Graham Potter's been offered jobs, but why ain't Graham Potter in any rush to get a job? Because he got paid £50 million by Big Belly Bowley. And that's because he was a new manager on a new contract. So again, I don't know if these men are going to take those ruthless risks. Are you going to say to Arteta, if he had us sitting, I don't know, 10th come mid-table, which, I mean, come mid-table, come mid-season, I don't think that's going to be the case. But would they make that ruthless decision and say, you know what, bro? I know we give you a new contract in the summer, but you got to go, bruv. You've got to sit in 9th, 8th, and 7th, bruv. And it's like we're going into January. You know what I mean? Because don't get it twisted. It could be one of those seasons. It could be one of those seasons for multiple reasons. But one of the big reasons are Edu. Gaspar. Yes. It could be because of that fraud. Not being able to deliver. Not being able to get the right players in for Arteta. Not being able to, get the players out the door that we don't want involved in the club. And therefore we've got to play them now, and they're going to be a liability, and they're going to be, problems. They know they're not really involved in what's going on. They know that the manager and you don't want us here, so mentally you're not going to be with it. Come on, man. Like, we need to look at all these things. Edu needs to get a job done, and I think KSC needs to kind of hold back on this contract talks. They need to hold back. They need to give this more time. They need to give it a bit more thinking. And when I say more time, I don't mean the project. I mean this contract stuff. You need to, like if you get to like maybe March, like if we get to March and Arsenal are in the race, Arsenal are maybe top of the table or second, and it's neck and neck on points. We've won the Carabao Cup already. Then you can start talking about new contracts. Then we've got a reason to give this guy a contract. Other than that, there's no real reason. We can't say, oh, well, the reason we're going to give Mikel Arteta a new contract is based on the fact that he's come second back to back. Come on, man. If you as an owner or if you as a football club are going to back a manager, no matter who the manager was, Arsenal are a big enough club and have enough resources to actually go straight for the title within a space of 3 years. Like, this has been my whole point to you for many years and on many streams whereby I've said Arsene Wenger never had us as a mid-table team, bro. Arsene Wenger done blood, sweat, and tears to keep us in the conversation. So when Unai Emery and Arteta's taken over, they've got a great platform. They've got one of the best platforms on the planet to now start building off. Now it boils back to decision making. If you ain't making the right decisions and identifying the right players, then what you're going to do is you're going to undo all of the hard work that Arsene Wenger built for this club. You understand? So when you start telling me now 6 years, 7 years, almost 8 years after Arsene Wenger's left, that all we've done is come second and second twice with an FA Cup and 2 Community Shields, and this guy needs a new contract and the project's gonna back. Bro, I'm telling you, what are you talking about? I'm gonna grab you by your head and slap you senseless so I can knock some sense into your head, because right now you're not making sense. How the hell can you tell me after 7 years of the legend Arsene Wenger leaving, that left us a big foundation, that left us in with great finances? We wasn't in debt. We wasn't, KSE cleared the stadium debt. We've gone on to spend over $1 billion, bro. Over $1 billion just on transfers alone. And I'm going to include what we've done under Unai Emery as well. And you're telling me we still can't even flipping win the Premier League, blood. And you're about new contracts, and you're telling me about second and second. Oh, and Man City are in the league, and no one can win it with Man City. Can you imagine if we felt like that back in the day when we done a double over Man United? You know what I mean? Like, come on, shut up, wake up, bro. That's what it's about now. So, again, Edu needs to deliver, man. Edu needs to deliver. Mikel Arteta, no new contract until you can deliver as well. This is the last season, bruv. Come on, man. KSE, can the algorithm land this stream on KSE's desktop, please? Can the algorithm land this stream on Edu's desktop? They need to hear this shit, bruv. They need to hear this shit. You know? At the end of the day, what we have here at Arsenal isn't going to crumble. It isn't going to fall apart if Edu and Arteta leave, especially if the owners identify the right people to take over the job. So, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? So, it's questionable, bruv. Absolutely questionable. Let's move on from this contract talk anyway. I've got my last topic, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Big up all the real ones in the building. Make sure we are hitting up the likes. All of that. Much appreciate every single one of you. All the people that come here on a day-to-day basis and check out the streams and the content. We appreciate you, man. So, all right, there's a lot to actually digest with this Calafiori deal, and I don't feel like I've got enough time to get through it all. There's also a report on Eddie Nketiah. I haven't read it. It's basically on a website, but I've got the link to it. Maybe I'll share that tomorrow morning. Let's get into Calafiori and what's going on with this one. There's a lot going on, in fact. There's 2 different publications, or 2 different tweets, should I say, both published by the same newspaper, Corriere dello Sport. Now, what they're basically saying, let's look at this first one. So the first one basically says, and this is the back page of their newspaper, auction, Calafiori, he is leaving. Arsenal offer 47 million, Chelsea to relaunch. Now, that's basically what they're breaking down. I don't know how true this is. I can't translate Italian. I can't speak Italian. If there are any Italians out there, please do read the back pages of the Corriere dello Sport and let me know what it's saying. But according to Eduardo Hain, the biggest fraudulent aggregator you can find, the guy will repost the most BS. Justin, breaking. Justin. Flipping hell, bro. You might as well call him Justin. You might as well call him Justin. Yo, Justin, what's going on, fam? Justin, every minute, Justin. Everything's Justin. The man will tell you Justin, even though it's a tweet he gave you 24 hours prior. Like he's just telling you the same shit. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But yeah, he's a proper fraud. I see Don's calling him out online. Keep calling him out, bro. This guy is just a worthless fraud. But one good thing is that he's obviously always tweeting, and that's that's the only thing you can take seriously about him, is that he's always tweeting. Anyway, so he's basically said that. Then the same Don has put out another tweet with another part of the translation, if I can quickly find it. So, and this is interesting as well. So basically what this one says, it says Thiago Motta is waiting for Thuram, which we spoke about yesterday. Thuram looks like he's going to be joining. That's already done, actually. Fabrizio Romano, I think he gave that a here we go this morning. So Thuram will be joining Juventus. But the next name on there is Jakub Kiwior. So the Corriere dello Sport are also linking Jakub Kiwior with Juventus. And they're saying that Thiago Motta is waiting for Jakub Kivior, and that might be, or that might mean that Calafiori is moving to Arsenal while Jakub Kivior goes to Juventus. I heard that there's some sort of stumbling block between trying to get a deal done between Bologna and Juventus, and that could mean Arsenal can get in there. I don't necessarily believe that, because I think if Juventus say, "Oh, brown envelope," Bologna will quickly open their eyes, smell the money, and literally sell Calafiori to Juventus. So anything can happen. You know how this team works. You see what happened with Dusan Vlahovic. There was so much out there. Even though we got told eventually that the agent didn't want to pick up his phone to Eddie. he couldn't understand what Eddie was saying. He was like, "Bro, what you saying? I can't get you up." Let's put the phone down on him. There was a lot of reports that did say Arsenal had kind of agreed personal terms with Dusan and blah, 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 blah. There was all this kind of BS that was circulating at the time. So, as I said yesterday, this could be a Dusan 2.0. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because when brown envelopes start talking, then, these frauds will start listening. And look, like, this is what they're saying. So maybe, just maybe, Jakub Kivior could be on the way, or could be on the verge of agreeing a deal with Juventus, because it's been like a three-way kind of negotiation. I think because you do that, there could be a three-way negotiation whereby, Bologna has told Arsenal, look, Juventus are interested. They're really adamant that they want to put this type of money down on the table, blah, 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 blah. And Arsenal have kind of picked up the phone to Juventus and said, listen, we'll give you Jakub Kivior. Thiago Motta likes him. You take him. We'll take Calafiori. We all win. How about that? So I don't know. Something along those lines could have been said. Wax, would you take Thiago Motta over Arteta? I can't say I would, because I don't really know Thiago Motta and what type of football he's playing and so on and so forth. He's done a great job at Bologna, but I will need to really do the eye test on his style, his management style, how he kind of deals with players, and all of that before making a decision. So, but I wouldn't write it off, because, like I said, you give me the opportunity to pick a manager that I wanted over Arteta, I'm taking that opportunity. Taram to Juventus is a huge miss for us. We need to go for Copper Miners, says Sam Daniels. Yeah, he's being linked with Manchester United as well, that Cop Miners. Bruv, Manchester United could be on a mad thing this summer. Absolute mad thing. They're freeing up the wages. They'll have a lot of financial availability on that basis. They'll be able to really bring in players. Okay, what else is being said about this fraud? So we've got the technical director of Bologna. What he's saying is there is talk of Juventus, but also of many other teams. At this moment, we will try and keep Calafiori. If important requests were to arrive, we will have to think about it. I mean, they don't really seem open at this point to selling him. That open anyway. They seem like they want to convince the player to stay. He says, I'm not saying that we will sell him, because the president has said that he wants to keep the whole team, but we will certainly make some evaluations. I do not think he will go to Juventus, maybe to a different market, but I repeat that we would like to try and keep him. So he's kind of indicating there that Arsenal could be in the race, that Calafiori could actually go to the Premier League. He might not be going to Juventus, but like I said to you, when brand envelopes get involved, these directors are listening. Yeah, they're eating up brand envelopes like it's dinner. Like, trust me, bro. Yeah, brand envelope gang sends. That league, that Italian league, is known for brand envelopes. It's been doing brand envelopes for the longest. Yeah, they're telling UEFA, they're telling FIFA, shut your mouth. Yeah, they've got the people. The regulators of the Syria to sit in their pockets, and they're just brown envelope gang, like literally envelope settings, bro. Trust me. Yeah, it's surprising that we never pushed for Thuram as well, man. £20 million, bro. I can't believe it. Then you still got Yusuf Fofana as well. That deal was, available. £18 million. We were talking about Manu Kone the other day. I mean, that's £18 million, bro. These guys on Football Manager go for astronomical money. These are players on Football Manager you would love to sign. You know, you're talking about 70, 80, 90 million, bro. In real life, these men are going for 20 M's and Edu is sitting there twiddling his fingers. You know? It's crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Anything else that's being said about this Italian fraud? Let's have a look. Let's have a little look. Fabrizio Romano just says Chelsea and Arsenal are really, really interested in Riccardo Calafiori. We still not at the stages of negotiations or formal proposals, but what I'm hearing is Chelsea could tempt Bologna by including a player in negotiations. Arsenal are very interested in the player. This is something that they've already confirmed to all parties involved. Arsenal are there. Chelsea are there. Now it's important to see what is going to happen on player side, what the player wants to do. So that's exactly what Fabrizio Romano says, quotations. So word by word. Chelsea could offer him crazy amounts of money. In fact, I read a report yesterday that suggested that Chelsea were going to offer him crazy amounts of money. And there was someone else that was being moved to Arsenal that Chelsea were interested in as well. Who's that, man? Can't remember. It might have just been Calafiori. It might be Calafiori. But yeah, that's about it in terms of like the news of players. And you know, like, there's nothing really going on. Arsenal are not that active, as I said. You know, we're scrimping and scraping at this moment in time. Eddie doesn't have a plan, trying to figure out what he's doing. You know, no real clear plan. You know, scouting dons at the Euros. Like, still scouting dons at the Euros, bro. Scouting doesn't stop for Eddie. Do you know what I mean? What stops, though, is the flipping being able to identify the right player. That's what stops. Bringing us in some dud players. I'm just quickly trying to scout through, see if I can see anything on Twitter about anything to do with Arsenal, any type of news. Just Fabrizio Romano saying that Sambi has accepted Sevilla as his next destination. We've got the bottom corner. It says, this screams Leroy Sané. Afterwards, Arsenal... This screams Leroy Sané. He says, after Arsenal's elimination against Bayern Munich in Champions League quarterfinal, the feeling among the hierarchy was that the team lacked a certain X factor in attack. Something special to unlock defenses on the biggest occasions. Now, I do remember reading that article. And I know he says this screams Leroy Sané, but does it really scream Leroy Sané? Do I really want Leroy Sané at Arsenal Football Club? All Mikel Arteta is doing is trying to bring Pep Guardiola's dons to the football club, man. Fuck's sake, man. Don't want these guys. Go and identify some real players and bring them in. You know, go and get me Eucharist. Like, you've identified someone and you're just sitting around, not doing anything. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Big up all the real ones in the building. I'm just going to read 3 comments and I'm gone again. So make sure if you are watching, you hit that like button. You do subscribe to the channel if we are new. We're on the road to 20K. We're only about 700 away. So please do share the videos. Get as many people as you can involved in these videos. Obviously, we're only relying on the YouTube algorithm. We don't tweet the videos. We don't put these videos on Instagram. We've got no one sending us redirects like that or anything. So we need you guys to help come together as a collective, share the videos. Also, join the channel as well. You can become a member of the channel. It really does help. And, you know, that money does go towards equipment and things like that we need for the channel. Also, subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel. Link can be found in the description. There will be new content this weekend. There was meant to be some this weekend. And I told you guys what happened. I sat there for 2-3 hours recording reactions and I wasn't actually recording. Can you imagine how embarrassing that was? But anyway, big up my guy Troy. Says we're going to finish third, and win nothing, then give him another season. Big up my guy Casual Gamer. He says, Wax, I believe Arsenal are not going to pull the trigger on Nico Williams when Spain are no longer in the Euros. I reckon they're hesitant right now in case he gets injured. Yeah, I mean, Nico Williams has kind of died down. I think he wants Barcelona. That's what the reports are saying. Big up Nago, he says, Bologna got 50% sell on clause to Basel. It's mad. Um, they're not going to sell anytime soon unless they get an astronomical P. That's just the reality. Chelsea can win the Prem if they sign Calafiori. No, I don't think they'll win the Prem if they sign Calafiori. They definitely need a striker. They need a few positions, but they're not far away. Like people can't underestimate what Chelsea have. They do have a good team with some good young players, and I think now they've signed the right manager that's going to take them to the level. They've actually signed themselves their Pep Guardiola, their Mikel Arteta. That's exactly what they've signed. You know, put Mikel Arteta in the same conversation as Pep Guardiola. It's wild, but you know that's the general consensus. That's what the most of the people think. But anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Hit up the like button. We will be back again tomorrow morning at 11:30 as usual, and I look forward to seeing you on that one. Peace.